as I worked more with couples, I've come across these two concepts I want to share that will greatly improve the quality of your relationships. This can be romantic relationships, but really anytime you build a relationship or communication skill, it's going to improve the quality of all your relationships. And a quote by Tony Robbins that I love is, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your relationships. So when we bring those qualities up, we're going to have a much more amazing life experience. So the first concept I want to share with you is that conflict is a place to learn. I meet a lot of couples who conflict comes up and they instantly become defeated, discouraged, frustrated, and it becomes very personal. It's almost like in the back of their mind, there's a story of like, I failed to make her happy. Or she's thinking, I'm not good enough for him. Or we immediately like delve right into these triggered stories that prevent us from actually learning and communicating during that conflict. So if you could think about every conflict that's coming up as like, oh, this is my chance to learn. This is my chance to learn. This is your chance to learn about the other person. Just be curious. If you can stay in a state of curiosity and learning, it really transforms the way that conflict happens. You may still disagree and not come in that conversation to a conclusion or to a common ground, but you won't destroy each other. The couples that survive and that are happy or healthy, the basic thing that they have done that others can't is they use conflicts as ways to build their intimacy, depth, connection, and understanding of each other. The couples that do not last, every conflict is like a wrecking ball, just smashing in the foundation and burning bridges and taking deposits out of their love bank and all this stuff, so that each conflict just tears them further and further and further apart. So it's really your ability to navigate conflict that is going to make you have a great relationship and a lasting, happy one or not. So my tip to that, because conflict is going to happen. It's easy to be lovers and to be amazing and to be generous and to be happy and to be your best self when things are going great. But as we know in the course of life, like you're two different people. You're going to have things that you see differently, feel differently about. Your communication, your needs are going to be different. So if you look at each time a conflict comes up as, this is my chance to learn about her. This is my chance to learn about him. What does he need? Help me understand what you need. If you approach it with that sort of thing, it actually can turn into a way to build. Conflict can be, I'm not going to say exciting, but it can be a thing that can actually be used to cement and glue and bond you closer and closer together, rather than something that rips you apart. So think about that next time you have conflict. This is my chance to learn about him. This is my chance to learn about her. Conflict is learning. So if you flip that paradigm around, that'll really change the way you communicate during differences in the future. The second thing I want to share with you is this idea that a relationship is a place you go to give. And yes, I'm talking romantic relationships, but any relationship really, with a child, with a parent even. I meet a lot of people who have been wounded by parents. We all are, right? All parents are imperfect. And even as adults have resentment because they still feel like that parent owes them something. Affirmation, love, approval, respect, I don't know. But as soon as we release that and say, you know what, you owe me nothing. How can I serve you? How can I give to you? You're completely free of all that baggage, completely free of the resentment. And I have seen this personally in people's lives. This is not just a pie in the sky theory. Like when you go to any relationship, parent, child, friend, lover, as a place to give, your human fear reaction is to say, wow, if I go there to give, I'm going to be taken advantage of. I'm going to get the short end of the stick. I'm going to give and give and give, and I'm going to become dry. They're not going to give back to me. I'm going to look like a fool. Why would I go 100% in when she's not going 100% in or he's not going 100% in, right? That is our natural human fear instinct, but guess what? It's not working for us. So if you transform, instead of thinking about what you need and what you want to get and what you want to have either from that person or that experience, to look at it is like, what can I give? This is a place for me to give. It completely transforms the way you feel in that relationship. Now, let me add a caveat. If you try this, say you decide to just take a courageous, bold step and you go home tonight and you approach you know what, I'm gonna give. Over time, if you're in a relationship where, say you give it 6 months or 9 months solid, where you just commit every day, this is my place to give, this is my place to give, this is my place to give, and you still find yourself that you're at a point where you're giving so much and the person is still not able to reciprocate, it's probably time to think about changing. That's probably not a healthy situation to be in. Or just accept that that's how it's going to be and feel good about your role as a giver. There's a lot of options there. I'm not advocating to stay in a dead relationship or a draining one. I'm just saying for most people, what happens counter to our human fear intuition that, oh my gosh, I'm going to be taken advantage of and get the short end of the stick and all the stuff that runs through our fears. Usually what happens is when you go into that relationship from a place to give, the other person responds to that love. The other person responds to that generosity, and it softens them and it opens them up. So the opposite happens of what your fear says is going to happen. Love is a powerful thing. So 2 concepts for you today. 1, conflict is learning. That's your opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to build, grow, and solidify your relationship. And secondly, a relationship is a place to go to give. Drop me your comments. Let me know if you have any questions. If you agree, if you disagree, I want to know that too. I want to hear from you. I hope this was helpful. Have a great day.